Hi there, and welcome to Everybody's Jonathan. I'm just a regular guy, and I happen to like my Kymco kpipe 125 quite a bit, so I wanted to take you with me on my journey of doing the 1200 mile maintenance. So pack your bags, let's go check it out. So I have 2017 Kymco kpipe 125. Here is the maintenance schedule. Like I said, I'm doing the 1200 mile maintenance, and take a minute to absorb kind of what we're taking a look at today, and we'll go from there.
Hey guys, today we are going to do some maintenance on the Kymco 125. Specifically, we're going to do the 1200 mile maintenance. So I'm going to go warm up the bike for a bit and then I'll be back. Hey again. So it's warming up now, but I just wanted to show you what I'm using for the oil change. Here we have some Honda oil, 10W40, just regular stuff, non-synthetic, seems to work okay. I have a 17 metric size ratchet, oil funnel, and then oil catch can. So that's all I'm using for the oil change, and let's get started. All right, so we're gonna let this drain for a few minutes. All right, so it's been a few minutes. You can see how dirty the oil is, and this is about 1,200 miles worth. So it definitely needed to be changed. So I'm gonna go ahead and put back the drain plug here. Be sure not to over tighten this here. Doesn't need too much because it has a gasket on there. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Should be good on that. And the owner's manual calls for 0.95 quart of oil. So doesn't take much, so just be careful and don't overfill. So I'm gonna try and do this with my camera at the same time. So we're going to let it settle for a minute here and then check it with the dipstick from there. And the owner's manual calls for the level to be checked without screwing the threads in. So let's take a look here at where we're at. Looks like we're just at the bottom here, so we're gonna do a little more. Notice that I do have the bike propped up on a block of wood to keep it pretty even up and down here. So let's do a little more and go from there. Like I said, don't put too much in it or else you'll have to drain some out again. right, so we are, looks like we're golden here, just below the full mark. So realistically, we're gonna wanna run it for maybe 5 minutes and check it again anyways. So we're not overfilled at this point, which is good. And oil is all changed. Let's move on to the next item here on the 1200 mile service. Okay, next item is to clean the spark plug. So spark plug is here, and this takes a 5/8 will fit nicely onto it here. And comes out pretty easily. How are we gonna clean it? Well, I got a wire wheel that I'm gonna use. Just makes it easier here than some other ways. You can see, doesn't look too bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean it anyways, and then put her back in. I think we're looking better here. Cleaned up most of the deposits on there. It calls for a replacement after 4,000 kilometers, which is about 2,400 miles. So we're not quite there yet to replace it. Just cleaning it at this stage. Once again, no need to make it too tight here. Get it threaded with your fingers first before you go ahead and give it a snug, and we're good here too. On to the next step. Okay, next item on the list is to clean and lubricate the chain. So I lifted the bike up with my little cooler. You can do it different ways, the jack and a piece of wood, or maybe a bucket. This is how I did it, and it allows the rear tire to come off the ground so you can have easy access at the whole chain. The products I'm using today, a chain clean degreaser. So this takes the old stuff off, and then I have a chain saver wax-based chain lube, and this will put the new stuff on. So first, let's give it a good spray. I'm gonna try and do this while holding the camera. Let's see how that goes. Let's try it from here. Looks like I'm running out of this stuff here. So I like to soak it pretty well, let it sit for a bit, spin it for a while, and you can see the stuff just falling off, which means it's doing its job here. So I'm gonna keep spinning it for another minute or so, and then bring it back. All right, so it's been a minute. Now we can start cleaning the chain off here. Make sure not to pinch your fingers. You can see all the old lubricant coming off with dirt and debris, which is why you should clean it. All right, so I think that's about as clean as I can get it here. I'm going to go ahead and give it an application here of my chain wax. I like to spin it while I'm spraying it to get an even application. And then spin dry it a bit, and you can wipe off the excess as well. And I did notice my chain has maybe a little over 1 inch of slack. Owner's manual calls for 0.4 to 0.8 inch of slack. So let's go ahead and adjust that too.
Thanks for joining me. I'd like to invite you to come along with me for part 2 of the Kymco kpipe 125 1200 mile service.